The 4, the 3, the 2, the 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Habanos Saturday, February 28th, 2026.
Are you
Welcome to
live?
the
Are you
live
on
show.
stream?
Yeah, we're live. Yes, we're live. And before we start the show, so Rizzo can figure out how to work his television, we're going to start with the opening credits.
Welcome to Habanos Saturday, the fastest growing cigar show on YouTube with over 100,000 subscribers. Come join us every Saturday live.
Now, just to let everybody know, I know that's like this. Like, it's cool. It's jazz. It's
AI jazz. It's AI
It's
jazz.
AI jazz. Way to go, David. We were going to have David Blanco on, a 5th generation master blender. But David couldn't make it because David got sick because apparently last night he and Rudy Giuliani and he were out partying. So we hope David feels better. Rizzo's going to love him. Big Trump supporter. Big, huge. So that's going to be an interesting show. Hopefully David will make it next week. He can tell us what it was like to hang out with Rudy. I can't even pronounce this guy's name anymore. Giuliani.
Giuliani.
Thank you. I'm just going to call him Giuliani. And I can see why you'd get sick because you hung out with Giuliani. Rudy, hey, Rudy. You hung out with Giuliani. You got sick. Totally get it. Okay. So we're going to change the title for the rebroadcast for all you people that are joining the show expecting to see David Blanco. You're not going to. You see Rizzo and I.
So to all Betty Blanco from the Bronx.
Oh, Betty. I love Betty. She's wonderful. She's a sweet woman.
Benny Blanco from.
What happened to Betty?
There's a character from Carlito's Way.
Oh, sure. You're a sophisticated kind of guy. By the way.
Yes, sir.
Just letting everybody know. Merch. Anyway, that was it. That was my commercial for the day. And David says I have to do one every day. That was it.
I'm a little on low energy, actually. You know this for the past week and a half.
Oh, that's right. It's a Ramadan thing.
I'm mid-Ramadan, and at this time, it can go in any direction. It can be low energy, or it can be that wooziness that lets all the thoughts flow out. It can just go in any direction. Mainly the direction it's going in is right now, at this time of the day, all I think about is what I'm going to be eating at approximately 5:35, 5:40 when the sun goes down and us vampires come out to feed.
Nice. All I think about is Chinese food, but same thing. Yeah.
Oh, you like the Asian taste, huh?
I love a good Asian. Asian food. Sorry about that.
Actually, I had chow mein and egg fried rice for my iftar, it's called, or you want to go Arabic, fatur, which is the breaking of the fast at sunset yesterday. Nice. It's like your Friday night dinners in your Jewish.
In the Jewish religion, right? We sacrifice a Gentile, drink the blood of children. It's a whole thing. Can I tell you though? Yesterday, I had. I'm not going to say the name of the restaurant because I screw it up. But anyway, I had a beautiful dim sum lunch yesterday. That was. Only thing would have made my lunch better would have been cigars. But apparently,
this is what relevantly. So obviously, I can't smoke during the day.
Yeah, I feel bad for you.
And there's lots of interpretations on that when you can or not. But generally speaking, you can't smoke. Whilst you're fasting, you can't smoke. And I am genuinely thinking it's Saturday evening. I may go out for a change. I've been kind of sulking at home a little bit, and I've been sort of marinating in this sort of, in a good way and a bad way, the spirituality of fasting. And then, the first intake of food is also like the first inhale of a great cigar, a Cuban cigar.
Sure.
And I'm on that note. For some reason, the Hoyo de Monterrey double Corona is sitting in my head. What happens is your hunger and your longing for something makes you focus a little bit more. How do you feel about that, Stephen?
100%. I am after the show today because we can't smoke on the yacht. We've established that because the captain keeps reminding me there's jet fuel, pussy, and things go boom. Apparently, I don't know this. I still see we should test this hypothesis after the show today. I will go for a leisurely walk along the docks, look at the smaller yachts, and make fun of the poor people, and smoke my cigars. Yes, but I'm craving a cigar. I if it was up to me, I would bring back cigar smoking in the office.
Well,
But you know what I mean? I think
yeah.
you should be able to smoke a cigar 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, wherever you want, and enjoy. This pussification of the globe now. You can't smoke. You can't do this. You can't do that. Blah 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 blah. I've had it.
Very.
I'm really done with it.
So interesting. A very nice question, actually. I hope it's a serious question. So this is
Yeah.
Aaron Evans.
Hey,
Never
Aaron.
smoked a cigar before. I'm an adult with an okay amount of money. What should I try? There's two schools of thought
Yeah.
on this, Aaron. Go for something that is relatively inexpensive and won't give you a bad taste in the mouth
Good.
in terms of spend.
Right.
Or go for something great because that's your benchmark. I would go for something great because that's a benchmark, but then you have to
Yeah.
smoke it properly. I would go for, hey, Urs, how you doing? I would honestly go for a very short smoke. I'd go for a flavorful smoke,
Yep.
which is something that industry insiders always talk about when you push them to it, but they never say it, is the H. Upman half Corona. It's a short smoke. It's about that big. You can smoke it in 30 minutes. I kind of can drag it out for an hour, hour and a half even. But it will give you a very good idea of what a wonderful, underrated industry level cigar is in
Yep.
terms of its flavor, experience, aroma. It's very, very balanced cigar. It's very, very. It's a small packet of goodness. It's a very, very highly recommended cigar. So
Yeah.
go for that,
Let's
Aaron.
do Aaron
And I
and
wonder if that's
Aaron.
the same Aaron. I wonder if that's our Aaron.
Could be Aaron, but we should also say, Aaron, if you're in the United States, brilliant. Thank you. No, he's in the UK. We're good. Never mind. The other thing he may want to try is a Juan Lopez because all their cigars are, and then you get a little Robusto. That was good. And the one I can never pronounce, the Quasi, the French champagne one is a very nice cigar to
Oh,
start
the
with,
Quai
too.
d'Orsay.
Thank you. So at least one of us speaks English. So,
Well, that's French.
oh, wait. He's in the USA. He's playing Bruce Springsteen, born in the USA. Well, then, my friend.
Well,
Then,
he's up early. He's up early.
well, he's a
Actually, Aaron, that cigar, if you can get hold of it this sometime this morning, which is unlikely because it's Cuban,
right.
it goes very well with your morning coffee. Extremely well with your morning coffee.
Now, so wait. Now we have to give him a. You know what's a good U.S. cigar, a non-Cuban cigar then that he
None
may
of
want
them.
to try.
None of them. None of them.
Okay, okay. You can if you, we got that. But just in case he can't get to Cuba in a speedboat and be shot and killed like the people were earlier in the week, let's
Unfortunately.
assume. Okay. Well, you know, I think propaganda. Anyway, let's assume that Aaron is going to go to his local chemist today, and Aaron is going to get a cigar. So, Aaron, a good cigar may be. See, I would go with the Diamond Crown Tampa, which is a very nice smoke. I would go with the Hemingway Short Story, which is a good smoke. I'm trying to find it.
Right? The Hemingway.
That's a Fuentes. Yeah, the Hemingways are great for a short smoke. If you can't get yourself some Cubans, I would go with the Hemingway. So yeah, that would be. I think that may be your best short smoke. And then if you find that enjoyable, go from there. Now, there's two ways to cut it. We learned this from AJ Patel a couple of weeks ago. You can either light it and then chop the head off, so to speak, and that will increase your flavor in your smoke, or you can chop the head like a moil and then light it. So if you want, there's some videos, I think on both of our Instagrams showing AJ doing that or here on the show. So hopefully that helps you out.
Honestly, I don't know how much this adds. In fact, I don't think it adds too much. But
don't tell that to AJ.
That's an example. Well, AJ is probably listening. That's an example of more enthusiasm than actual. Because actually, what people are doing is they're imbuing the cigar with their own enthusiasm. And it's like,
right.
It's like sometimes a child is very excited to get an ice cream, and the way that he or she unwraps the ice cream, that enthusiasm, it doesn't change the flavor of the ice cream. It just changes the enjoyment level. So all of these things, they're fine.
Right.
They have, when you light a cigar and you do the sort of round movements, these are all sort of like ways to enjoy yourself, I guess.
Yeah. And by the way, just so we're clear, Fanboy says he's tried my Diamond Crown Tampa blend that I've talked about, and he said it was a good cigar. So once again, I actually sometimes know what I'm talking about. Let's not make this a habit of me knowing what I'm talking about. But I mean, I may smoke a cigar at 12 here and there, so I know. So there you go. So we've given the fans some selection. Now they're happy. And then once again, for you people that are tuning in for David Blanco, David can't make it today. David's sick because he had lunch with Rudy Giuliani or Rudy Giuliani. I can't get the guy's name out. Giuliani
I think what
got
you should
sick.
do is
It's
put it
all
on a
thing.
ticker tape going
Below.
across the screen.
Yeah, I could actually do that, but that would require me to do.
Do some
Nah,
work.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm not doing that. That's crazy. I was just
And once
telling
again,
them we'll be
here's
here.
perhaps if we're talking recommendations, and these are only personal recommendations. I'm no
Right.
expert, it's like, unlike Stephen.
There we go.
Uh,
I'm no
but
expert either.
if
You
you
know more than I do on this subject.
if you're going to
You're
drift
older.
outside the Cuban kind of leaf, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a bad idea to drift in the Davidoff direction or Davidoff related products direction.
There you go.
Because, you know, the
Yeah, but
engineering
what
of those
If he's
cigars.
if he's a brand new Davidoff smoker, they just gave me a brand new Davidoff that got released. I got one Sunday. I can't remember the name. I'm going to try it this weekend. But I'll bring it out next week, or I'll put it on my Instagram later today so you guys can see it. But if he's going to try a Davidoff, I like the Yasmin because it's a nice medium blend. And then of course my other one is the Winston Churchill. I love the Winston Churchill. Yeah.
You mean the
Did I
Churchill
stub you?
late hour?
Well, in the late hour I wouldn't do. I would just do the North. They have the Winston Churchill, and then they have the late hour. The late hour is a full body. I think that may make Aaron do the Technicolor yawn. Hey, Aaron's going to be subscribing. Cool. We just got another subscriber. Well, we're done for the day then. Thanks, guys. We'll see you all later. Welcome to the show, Aaron. So I think the Churchill may be good for him in Davidoff, but not the late hour. I mean, if you're going to give him full body, you might as well give him a Padron 1926 series #1. I mean, like if you really get it.
I'm actually coming from a bit of a place of ignorance. I've tried some of these cigars you're talking about, apart from the Diamondback. I've tried some of these cigars, yeah. I've tried them maybe once, maybe twice, and it's very samey. It's a very samey experience. They're either very strong or they're very light,
Right.
but there's no complexity. There is a one-dimensionality to, generally speaking, the New World selection, generally speaking.
Which
not
is
always, generally. They're not complex, they don't develop, there's no journey that you go on. You're having, and this is quite satisfying with some people, you're having basically a one hit. The sweet tastes the same all the way through, and it's either very strong or it's very, light.
Yeah.
That's what it is. If you get the Cuban leaf, the way the Cuban leaf develops, it has a development. Generally speaking, it changes in flavor, it changes in experience a couple of times, maybe at least 2 times, sometimes 3 times, if you're really lucky, 4 times all the way down the stick. But the reason I mentioned the H up and half Corona, because I've heard it again recently. People that I smoke with or smoke around. There's a really nice, a very, very cool, very experienced Cuban guy who runs Harrods in London, the cigar. So it's operated by JJ Fox, but it's actually a Harrods cigar shop, and there's a guy called Jorgito.
right.
And we're talking about, just having a quick short smoke, because when I go there, he'll come and have a smoke with me. We're always discussing about, what is the right. If you pick a big cigar and you're constantly walking in and out of the shop, then, your cigar starts and stops. But
Right.
so you need something that's 20, 30 minutes. And the H up and half Corona, notwithstanding its story, which is mildly debated, my understanding is, and I've had this story from various different sources, is the H up and half Corona was created to suit the needs of a client living in London, maybe a century ago, who wanted to smoke something either during the break when he went to the Royal Opera House, or on his journey from his house to the Royal Opera House. So, you have all these stories and myths that evolve around cigars, but they make the cigar interesting and give the
Right.
experience a little bit more.
Interesting. Well, and then Fanboys talks about the Grand Cru. I'm not sure what he's referring to. So a little more information there would be awesome, I think.
No, the Grand
So,
Cru is one of the Vitolas in the Davidoff range.
is it really? I've never had that one.
Named after
Yeah.
champagnes.
Oh, well, I only drink good champagne. Ripple. Matt,
But look, someone says
stuff.
autistic Egyptian Andrew Tate.
Is that
So
you?
just random, so just random words just put together,
Oh,
and
look at that.
apparently
And
that's
they
a
can spell.
conversation starter. But I've given him or her their due attention by reading it out. There you go.
Well, no,
Random words.
Abraham Lincoln is back is apparently their name. So congratulations, Abraham. We liked you back in the 1863, right before you went to the play. Anyway, so I haven't had the Grand Cru, but I've had a lot of the Davidoff. So there's a whole bunch. So, for the gentleman who's going to try some cigars, hopefully today, hopefully we gave him some ideas. And then Fanboy gave him another one, the Grand Cru. You can never go wrong with the Davidoff. Let's just be honest.
Have you tried the cigars? Have you tried the cigars by David Blanco? These Blanco cigars. Have you?
I have tried it. So I have, and I think it's somewhere in our shorts here, and it's definitely on my Instagram. We have a mutual acquaintance. He gave me a couple of David's cigars, and I tried one of David's cigars, and it wasn't bad. And so as a joke, I did my little quick, let's do a 30-second, as you like to call it, home shopping commercial shout out. So I did a 30-second shout out. There was like these Blanco cigars. They're the worst. I wouldn't smoke. And at the very end, of course, I said it's a great smoke. You should buy David Blanco cigars. But yeah, I've had them. Not a bad smoke. I enjoyed them. So yeah, I'm a fan. So I don't know what to tell you. But once again, you're spoiled. You live in a country that you've got a queen as the king. And then you also live in a country where you can buy Cubans. So it's very nice. We live in a country where we're about to
say this.
We're going to invade Cuba. Yeah.
No, but it's interesting that you say that we're spoiled. That means you kind of acknowledge the fact that we are getting a product that, I don't know. We're getting a product that you don't get generally, yeah? But are you trying to say it's a better product or it's a more desirable product? What do you say?
No, I think it's the mystique of the product. I smoke Cubans every week. So, and sometimes a cigar. But it's, there's some Cuban cigars where I get them and I am like a little kid at Hanukkah. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to smoke it. And there's other Cubans I get and I'm like, okay, they're no better or different than having a Davidoff, a Padron, my Florida, my Diamond Crown Florida. It just depends. I think there's a mystique about it. Now, after we invade them next month, and I'm Cigar Czar, and we have Cuban cigars in America, I think the mystique goes away. And I think that's part of the Cuban lore, is there is a mystique about Cuban cigars. It's like, oh my God, you have a Cuban cigar. And because of that mystique.
So the question to you is, you smoke quite a diverse range of cigars, Stephen. Right?
Correct.
Yeah? You smoke really shit New World cigars and you smoke really good Cuban cigars.
Yeah, I smoke Davidoffs.
How do you feel about it? Do you feel there's a product difference? I mean, it's all very well me slagging things off, right? But do you actually feel there's a difference in the product?
And some of them, yes. I will say, like Davidoff, because hey Roy, thanks for the check. I will say that the Davidoff brand never fails. I will say the Padron never fails. The Diamond Crown. There's a bunch of them that never fail. I would say they're equal too, in my opinion. And my opinion means nothing. It's just my opinion. There's others that I'm like, no, the Cuban is better. But I still think it goes back to the mystique of Cuban cigars. I think once we invade Cuba next month, and they are going to open up the trade, and that would mean cigars, and there's a flood of Cuban cigars here, that is going to be very interesting, because your $100 or 100-pound Siglo 2 that should really be about 20, 25 pounds, probably in the States will be about $20. So I think after the oh my God, I'm going to smoke Cubans is over, there will be just like every other cigar. And I think Habanos is preparing for that. I think that's why you had your festival canceled, other than the embargo. I think that's why they're holding back cigars, as we found out a few weeks ago with AJ. I think they're preparing they're going to be releasing to the States.
You say this, right? But just like the difference between, McDonald's and Burger King are burgers, yeah? But to someone who's been eating them all their life,
Mhm.
there's a difference between, a Big Mac and a Whopper. You can taste the difference straight
Yeah,
away.
yeah. One's horse meat,
And
one's not. Yeah,
and that's exactly, I find that, I mean, I find it weird and strange. It's okay, everyone, everyone can appreciate different kinds of cigars and different products.
right.
No problem with that. There is no real huge similarity in flavor, taste, aroma between Cuban cigars and everything else. I don't see it. There
So
isn't.
here's remember what I've said. I said this many months, or actually now 2 years ago. If I smoke a New World, I stop. If I smoke a non-Cuban, if I smoke a non-Cuban cigar, a lot of smoke, lots and lots of smoke, a little bit of flavor, but not a lot. If I smoke a Cuban cigar, a little bit of smoke, but a lot of flavor. Okay, and that I still stand by that to this day. So it just depends on what I'm trying to enjoy for the day or for that next hour and a half. But then again, you also have to remember when I go smoke cigars, because I can't really smoke during the week because we can't smoke
Mhm.
in the office and blah blah blah. On a Saturday or Sunday, we're going through 5 or 6 or 7 cigars and also scotch. So
Oh, here's an,
by
oh,
the
so on that note, when you're going through
yeah
5 or 6 or 7 cigars in a day,
yeah
are you talking about?
yeah.
So do you stick to New World, or do you kind of like,
Oh no, like Saturday would be, and remember Aaron Sigmund said no, they were here before we were, so it's just non-Cuban, not New World. So if I like today would be non-Cuban day. I will smoke all non-Cubans. Usually I'll smoke the same brand, or I'll smoke one or two that I really like, and then people will say try these, so I'll try them. So I cleanse my palate, I do whatever, and then I try. So I make a day out of it, right? It's my mini holiday. Tomorrow I'll get together outside of Monte Carlo, and we will have Cuban Day, and that will start about 9:30 in the morning with scotch and cigars, and end around 4 or 5 in the afternoon, with me trying to remember my name. But no, it's enjoyable, and then I get to enjoy one day of non-Cuban and one day of Cuban, and that just helps me go back and forth, and it helps me appreciate different cigars as well. That's what I do. I mean, everybody else can do that. So,
there you go.
well,
There
you
you
don't
go.
like you've done that. You've smoked 3 or 4 or 5 cigars in a day.
I know, but I'm interested in the in your ability to switch from I don't know if this is pompous. It might be pompous, right? But the thing is
Okay.
this: you go from New World cigars to
Yeah.
Cuban cigars, and maybe you're doing a compare contrast. If I'm smoking 2 cigars or 3 cigars, I think I've cut my cigar smoking down a little bit, but that's due to lifestyle changes. It's not because of my
Right.
enthusiasm. It's just my lifestyle is kind of a little bit not fitting in the regular smokes, right? But if I'm
Right.
smoking 2, 3 cigars a day, one of the disciplines I kind of started out on maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, is that if I'm smoking H. Upmann, I'll try and stick to different H. Upmann Vitolas.
Okay.
As a compare contrast, sort of, they get cigars can just get lost in your memory
Yeah.
banks. Like I've smoked 3 cigars, I smoked a Partagas, then an H. Upmann, then so there's no story there. There's no thread there other than the Cuban thread, if you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's what I started doing about a year and a half ago. And now typically it's a 2 cigar. It's a in the evening. It's a 2 cigar duet. Let's call it this way.
Okay.
So it's but within the same brand. So it might
Right.
be, a Cohiba Siglo 1 followed by a Siglo 2,
Right. Well, that's
or
good you can do that. Yeah.
a PL Paul Aranyaga Petit Corona,
Right. Right.
followed by a bigger Vitola, like I
Right.
don't know, Galanes or whatever it may be, yeah, or some regional edition.
Right.
But stick within that because you get a little bit of compare contrast, and you can actually see if there is any consistency, because it's a bit of a magic trick about
Yeah.
this opaque magic trick about Cuban cigars. You haven't got a
Yeah.
clue what's in the leaves. You haven't got a clue what the blend is. And a lot of it is to do with marketing, even on the Cuban side, right?
Right.
Yeah. You can psychosomatically sort of like put something on a cigar that isn't there. So you can say, "Oh yes, I can see I can see the flavor development between these two when there is none. They're two totally separate sticks made in two different
Right.
factories by two different people in two different ways, right? But they happen to have the same band on them. So I think only the top connoisseurs, and I would imagine to some extent you would have to live, breathe, eat the Cuban leaf to understand it. Yeah. People like us, we can't. But there is, for when I say I smoke 2 cigars and stay within the same brand, it's just out of consistency, so that I have a bit of a story, I have a bit of a memory. I can say, oh, on that day I smoked those two, and it was like as a couplet, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah. See, so for me, because everything so it's more. I do my Saturdays more. How do I want to put the more scientific for me with cigars, whether it's Cuban or non-Cuban. Sunday is we're gonna this just we all go and do. So we meet at a certain place. We have scotch and cigars at 9:30 in the morning because that's what you do. And then around noonish, we make our way over to go eat lunch.
I am cutting you, Stephen. But this just to remind you, there's a really nice pairing: eggs and cigars.
Eggs and cigars. I've heard about that. Yeah. So I'm going to try that one day. But I have a crazy schedule. So what I find first thing in the morning that you do for breakfast is you have a nice glass of scotch. You're good. There you go. That's it. And it gives you all your nutrients. You got your scotch, and it's got water into it. And stir it up. Tomorrow. That's what I'm going to do. I'll be very sophisticated. A little
whatever gets you going. In fact, sometimes the first flick of the ash into the drink, mix it up. Down it.
I haven't tried that yet. I'm gonna put that in my to-do list. Yeah. But no, so Sunday's a little different because Sunday we start early, and we go and we do, and it's just a full day of it. And Saturday, because of the show, by the time I'm gonna go smoke cigars, it's like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So it's a different mentality than on a Sunday smoke. Where Sunday's more relaxed, and I just go. And I can, make fun of the people that go to that building with the guy with the dog collar. They got penguins and stuff. It's very nice. So I enjoy myself on Sunday. Yeah. And for the people joining, sorry, David Blanco isn't joining us today. We found out 2 seconds before we came on air, so we didn't change it. Yeah, I should put that in there. You keep talking. I'll put it in there if I have to remember how to do the ticker. Oh, here we go. I can do a ticker. Who knew? I can create a banner. I'm going to go do that right now. All right. David Blanco. Here we go. He's not joining today. There you go. David's sick. There you go. David's going to be very happy. So there you go.
So Stephen, what are your plans for coming to the UK?
My goal is to be there in May, actually.
Is there any plans during this year for you to be here?
May is when I'm going to go because I have to be in France in May as well.
So you're going to hit as many cigar sampling rooms as possible.
Yes, I'm going to hang out with you. Actually, what AJ said, if I'm not mistaken, is he said I can whatchamacallit. I can come and hang out with you. I can if I have to do this.
You really have put the ticker up. There you go.
There's the ticker. David Blanco is sick. We'll join soon. There you go. I can put a whole bunch of stuff up, but I'll be nice. Anyway, no, so I have to be in France with the snooty people in May, and I have to go parlez-vous français, oui, and all that stuff. And then before France or after, I plan on spending a week in the great United Kingdom with you, AJ, Brown Car Guy, because AJ's, and I'm learning to retrohale so I can smoke vintage cigars because I know AJ's not going to let me smoke unless I know how to do that. So I'm gonna whatchamacallit. So there you go. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm very excited about that. So yeah, so I will be coming across the pond, and Ali has asked when I'm coming because he wants to smoke cigars. So I have a feeling we're going to have to book time for us to meet with all the fans that are going to want to smoke cigars when I come across. And I'm very excited about that. I'm very flattered as well.
Sort of brotherhood of cigar smokers. You find them absolutely everywhere.
I know, but here's what's funny. It's only the brotherhood.
By the way, I'm yawning not out of boredom. I'm just
Yeah,
low.
For
Low
new people
energy.
that don't know, Riza, and you may not know this because you guys are fascinated with this Andrew Tate guy, who we're still trying to figure out who the fuck he is. But anyway, Riza is Muslim, for still people that don't know. And he is celebrating a holiday called Screw the Gentile. No, Ramadan. And because of that, he is low energy because he is not allowed to eat or put anything on his lips. And just so we're clear, the sugar babies of London now are very upset because during the day I have nothing to do anymore. So at nighttime, though, he can eat and drink, smoke cigars, be merry and gay. And I know Mary and Gay; they're very nice people. And he'll be very excited. So he's not bored. He's just trying to make it through 6 o'clock.
And then the other thing, these are all these you're exactly. It's not 6 o'clock today. It's at like 5:38,
Okay,
5:39, because sunset time like changes by almost a minute in sort of this part of the hemisphere. The other kind of like, these are not world-changing decisions here. I'm
right.
thinking about if I should go in after dinner, go and sit in a cigar lounge, or
Why not?
go and sit on a terrace somewhere outside a restaurant and smoke a
Do they let you
cigar.
do that there?
That's the
Can
other
you
thing that's
sit?
going through my brain
Can you
right
sit?
now.
Can you sit at somewhere in the UK outside and smoke a cigar on a terrace, other than
I
that one you
can, and
told us on St. James Street?
I'm thinking of a specific place. I'm thinking of
The
a
St.
specific
James Street
area.
one, the secret one that you
Not
told
St.
everyone last
James's,
week.
and this is due to the fact that in London everything shuts at 6 o'clock in the evening. We're going back to
Ah,
like 50 years ago.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
the St. James's shops, which are Davidoff, Cigars, and JJ Fox,
right.
tend to be closed in the various different timings, but I think about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, they're all shut. That's my recollection.
Gotcha.
Please don't, if anyone knows better, then just message in, yeah? But they're
Yeah,
shut in the evening. Even places like I love to go to, like places like Tom Tom, they're shut
right.
by about 8 o'clock.
Yeah, old
Um,
people.
there are a few cigar sampling rooms that,
What about
especially in the
number
hotels.
6?
Well, number 6 is going to be open till about 11, but that's just it. I don't know, especially like, once you've, it's a very different mentality. Once you've had your food, having, number 6 closes at 11 o'clock. Once you've had your food at about
Right,
5:30, you kind of you felt woozy all day. Then you have,
right,
like, in 10 minutes, you eat like a whole day's worth of food. Then you feel drunk in a different way.
right.
And it's really about like, do I really want to just sit and marinate in a lounge, or do I want to sit on a terrace where, I can have a little bite to eat and smoke? I did that 2 days ago with a couple of friends who will remain nameless, because it was a little bit of a down low kind of meeting, right? And we had
Ah,
Iranian
okay.
food. I posted on my stories, and I had some great Iranian food. It was a great terrace. I could sit there and smoke. And I think I'm gonna go find something like that.
All right, very nice. Yeah, so we don't really do it when we do it fast, but no one really does it. Eat some matzah, you're good to go. But yeah, you guys, you go like a whole
You
month of
have to
this. This is like
struggle and
crazy.
find places to eat.
Yeah, well, you gotta. It's kind of a weird thing though. Your fast. Your fast is like, yeah, the sun comes up, you don't eat. The sun comes down, you don't eat. That's kind of like my normal day. So technically, I fast every day according to what you guys are doing. So because during the day I'm
Yeah,
busy. I got things.
I had a message from Jean Marie the other day,
Yeah.
saying come over to Dubai, because when obviously once you've broken your fast or whatever, there's like
Right.
no end of places to go outside and
Right. Well,
smoke.
especially there.
Yeah. I mean, it's just set up in a different way. It's a different culture. But in London, it doesn't, unless it's in the middle of summertime. Unless it's in the middle of summertime, right? London
Right.
is just an ever changing place, and you have to kind of. So at least me in this situation, I have to constantly be thinking about where to smoke, how to smoke.
Right.
Do I need to be drinking and not drinking, as in actually drinking and eating whilst I'm smoking? All that kind of stuff. So this just goes
Yeah.
through my head.
All right. Yeah. But here's what I will say: the fans in the UK DM me, and they're like, "When you're coming, blah blah blah. We want to sit down and have a cigar with you." I'm like, so I'm very flattered. And even the fans in Dubai,
Yeah.
and the UAE and other places, and Qatar, they all do it. So and the United States, nobody says anything. They're like, "Yeah, we don't care." I'm like, "Okay." So I know where our fans are. So yeah, the fans. I'm looking forward to meeting all the fans. I think that'll be kind of fun. I think a lot of them you've already had cigars with. So for me, it'll be a new thing. Now, Ruben, who's literally, 35 minutes by plane, we haven't had a cigar yet. So he and I'll have to do that, I think, before I go to the UK. Knowing him, will just show up in the UK.
But you guys can kind of like get together in Miami or
We
whatever
could.
it's close about. But you're in Tampa. Tampa is on the
It's
side of the.
3 hours by car or 35 minutes by plane. All we have to do is just, fuel the jet and go. Not that tough. So,
Cool.
but Ruben he's a busy man. I can't, he's got things going on. So he's got a small country.
We're going to get a little report back, I guess, from Qasim when he comes back from Cuba. I don't know if he's back from Cuba or not. He did go.
Nope, still there.
Despite the festival not happening, there is a few people that went, and I wonder what kind of report or reportage they're going to give of what's happening in Cuba.
Yesterday, my Uber driver was from Cuba, and I was asking him, do you have family there? And he did. And I was like, what's going on? And he gave me the rundown. And I was like, when did you last speak to them? He's like, an hour before I picked you up. And I was like, really? And he was telling me, not so good there. There was no, like he said, there's no positive spin. He said, it's very bad. Like the food, the electric, that he went through the whole thing. So he said, hopefully, everything will turn around for them sooner rather than later. So, and I know Donnie, Rudy's friend, which I guess is David's friend, he said that he wants the Cuban people they want to rely more on America, which is why I'm thinking either A, we're about to invade, or B, Cuban cigars are coming here. So there you go.
In terms of events, by the way, throughout the year, I don't know how many are, but I'm looking forward to one that I will be hopefully attending, which is the one in Italy, the Amigos de Partagas, which is,
excuse me.
So that's in the the second or third week of June. That's my recollection.
Okay.
This festival didn't happen. I don't know if there's going to be there's going to be something in place of that festival during this year or not. Maybe there is, maybe they'll do it a different way. But notwithstanding that, there are some events on the calendar. I'm looking forward to the car events because in the UK, because I like to go to car events and smoke cigars there, and I'm going to do it in a slightly more elaborate way this year. I'm much more about making my own event, like a smoke event.
A RZA event? Is it going to be a Habanos Saturday, aka RZA event, where people are going to flock from the globe to be and with you and smoke? We'll invite Andrew Tate as well. But we'll flock to the globe just to be with you.
Well, we are getting a little bit of a cult following on the car scene, because during the summer in the UK, it starts around May, to be honest. Like just when the weather starts improving in this country, which could be any time between sort of May all the way up to September. It can be terrible, but that's those are when the events happen. There are about 4, 5, maybe 6 major car, and when I say car, I don't mean like hot rodding events and things like that. I mean classic cars, supercars, hypercars, sort of like very, very high end stuff. Classy events, and they're all outdoor, and all of them apart from one, and even with that one, I find a little bit of a shortcut. You can smoke cigars. You can wander around, sort of like there's 500, 600, maybe 1,000 top end cars, and the audience there is sort of like very well heeled, sort of enthusiasts, and there is a great deal of similarity between the people that follow all these cars and people who smoke cigars. Anyway, we're getting a bit of a cult following when we go to these events, and I've been going to these events solidly since the end of COVID lockdown. So this is 5, 6 years. 6 years I've been going solidly to these events. But now, in the last 2 or 3 years, there's a bit of a cigar following, and people who smoke cigars generally come along with me. Now they've started going independently to these events.
Nice. Cigars and Cars UK has joined us on Instagram, so I'm assuming he knows about the cars as well. So it'd be good to get his opinion if he wants to chime in. So I'd throw that out there. So are you going to have like a private like RZA tour? Like you all going to pile into like the party bus with a stripper pole and?
No, this is as I said, one of my favorite authors, Ernest Hemingway. He's got a very famous
Right.
book called A Movable Feast. I
Right.
find that cigar smoking is a movable feast. You
Right.
take your friends, you take your cigars, your friends, and your enjoyment with you wherever you go.
That's true.
It's like three friends can go fishing and smoke a cigar. You know, three or four friends can get together, go to a car show, smoke cigars, have a bite to eat, have a few drinks.
Right.
That, for me, that is an event.
Yeah.
And it's a very private event. And I do find from time to time other people want to join in. It's happened. I've been to car events where you bump into other fellow cigar smokers who
Right.
suddenly see that they can increase their conviviality by sitting with you or walking with
Right.
you and smoking cigars. And it's I don't, other than conviviality, I don't quite know how else to explain it, but people who share the same activities tend to gravitate together.
Right. No, I like that. I'm just happy you can smoke cigars there. Because in the States, every time you light up a cigar, unless it's in a specific area, that people whine like little
Yeah.
bitches.
So when you say the States, you mean in the land of the free?
The land of the free and the brave. Yay. Yeah,
Neither,
that
no,
place.
neither brave nor free. Because if you can't do what
Something
you
like
want to
that.
do,
Yeah,
yeah,
well, back in the
you
day
can
when we did the
you can
Indian
shoot
pointers.
innocent civilians, but you cannot smoke cigars because they're
That's
dangerous to
right.
your health.
That's right. So, I'm gonna put something up here first from the guys from UK Cars and Cigars, so you can see what they're
That's
saying.
pizza.
Is that Peter? Hello, Peter. So
Pizza.
that's my British accent. Sorry about that, guys. So let's see if this will go through. There's what Peter's saying regarding cars and cigars. There you have it.
Salon
Since Peter's
Privé
watching
fine
this
cigar
video.
is a great way to spend the afternoon. So Peter's referring to Salon Privé, which is this is an event, but it's held. Salon Privé is held in Chelsea. It's
Okay.
also held in Blenheim Palace. They have two events in a year. They have one at the beginning of the season. They have one at the end of the season.
Oh wow. Okay.
And it's not just the cigar, it's the company, it's some, so you have a bite here, you maybe pick up a burger, someone wants to pick up some truffles, you got the full range. Yeah.
Right.
And these things are good days, good days out, but you have to curate your own event. Now, I have a friend who obsessively takes me to different events to see what kind of events I like, but also we kind of like hit events together to see which ones are really valuable. In fact, property events, boating
Right.
events, yacht launch events, jewelry events, car events. And actually, it's my friend who got me into this, right? And he took me 2 years ago to Henley Regatta,
Okay.
which I don't know, Stephen, is sort of like they have the boat races there.
Right. Right.
You got the whole all the rowers.
Yep.
So Henley upon Thames is sort of outside London, but obviously it's on the Thames. I mean, I thought it's okay. To me, it's not my cup of tea, but actually, it's the incidental activities of smoking cigars, hanging out with people.
Right.
There are polo events that it doesn't. Again, none of these tickle my fancy. The car events are something I
Right.
enjoy because I used to. I not so much anymore, but I really used to enjoy beautiful exotic cars.
Right.
I was always into the car. I won't say culture, but it was something of interest to me. And the marriage of cars and cigars is great because you get similar-minded people there. There you
Yeah.
go.
No, I
That's
agree.
something. Yeah,
That's nice. Very nice. Yeah. No, I like going to
it's
events.
like your Pebble Beach kind of thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be like Pebble Beach, or it's gonna be like the one they have up in Jacksonville, the Concord there. It's like
In
the
Jackson
snooty one.
Heights.
No,
Jackson
Jacksonville.
Heights in New York. That's
Sure,
like
let's go with that
that's
one.
where you
That's
have
where they
these very
steal the
classy events.
cars. Yeah, they steal the cars there. No, there's one on there's one in Jacksonville, Florida, where everybody goes to, where they're all the snooty people go and look at
Like
all the
you,
cars. But look,
like you, like
all
you.
right, listen, we don't need to be pointing fingers.
You have snooty,
Anyways,
you have snooty people absolutely everywhere in the world. In Dubai, they sit on yachts.
yeah,
In the USA, they go to these fancy car events in the UK too, right? It's all about snootiness and snobbiness. But actually, you do find from time to time, you find some really interesting characters, people
oh yeah,
who really enjoy their cigar smoking. And, out of, 100 people, there's always two or three people that are worth meeting. I think
that's
that's
true, and
that ratio. I think that's a reasonable ratio.
I agree. I keep my snootiness
Your
for the show.
snootiness. Your
My
snootiness.
snootiness, my snootiness. Next week. I'm
Your
going to learn to
assault with your
speak.
throat blocked up.
Next week, I get the teeth, and I'm going to learn to speak English for the fans. But anyway, I keep my snootiness just for the show. And it's funny because when you see us out, people are just like, okay, we just look like we're not trying. No one shows off. Everyone's very low key. Everyone's quiet. Nobody needs to know squat. It's better that way.
Oh, and then the
Yeah.
other thing is, by the way, just when it comes to these car events, they're not
Yeah.
all the same. Oh, and I forgot, there's Goodwood. There's Goodwood and Goodwood Revival.
Good one's good, yeah. So,
But people dress up as well. They want to wear the, great suit, and they want to look like dandies. It's sort of like no, it's the culture combines, and
yeah,
it's not looking good.
they're a little
feeling good.
flamboyant. They're a little over the
a little
top
bit
and
more
flamboyant.
than normal. Yeah.
There you go. Talking about being flamboyant and over the top, Fanboy's comment was just it says, unfortunately for you, Stephen, Trump is too busy with Iran, so there won't be an invasion into Cuba anytime soon, so you won't be the cigar czars anytime soon as well. So there you go. Now that I know that, I'm very disappointed, but I'll call Donnie today and see what we can do. So if we can speed that up, Donnie, that would help. So, got things to do, people to see. So now next week, we may not have a show. I may have to get a guest host because you are going to be traveling the globe.
Maybe that was meant to be a private conversation between you and me.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not going to say anything. He's not going to Qatar. I didn't mean to say that. They go see JM in Dubai. I didn't mean to say a word. So,
well, you'll find out when you find out. You'll find out when you find out.
Great. I can't wait for next week when I'm the only one here going, hello, everybody. You never know. Maybe David Blanco will feel better next week.
I've done it before. I did a show.
The Graveyard Show.
I did it, the Graveyard Shift.
The Graveyard Show. I love that show. Can I tell you? That was, people loved that. They were like, this is awesome. I literally had someone in my office they watch our stuff on the, instead of Bloomberg in the morning, they watch this stuff. And I gave them a raise for that. But anyway, he said, is he in the graveyard? I go, he's going to a funeral. And he goes, let me get this straight. You guys are doing your show. He's going to a funeral. He goes, you guys are so screwed up. I'm like, you think?
Well, I had 20 minutes. I was standing around. I was standing around waiting, and fortunately, it's a first world country. Even though the roads are dilapidated now, but we've got Wi-Fi in most places, and I had some limited access to Wi-Fi. I thought, okay, let's do it.
It worked well.
It's maybe some level. I hope you take it as some level of dedication. I hope you take it as some level of enthusiasm, right? But if it can be done, do it. If it can be done.
If it can be done, we'll do it. Now, let me ask you, next week, is Ramadan over?
No, Ramadan is... So we're only...
When's it over?
We're only into the second week.
How many weeks are there?
My mind goes numb. I think we're... How many fasts? I think we're 2 weeks in.
How many fasts are you supposed to have?
No, we're a week in.
I don't know.
We are not even at halfway point. Let's put it that way.
Oh, so let me ask you this. So is a fast really just this 12-hour period? Because what I'm thinking is...
18th. Hang on. We started on the 18th or 19th. So today's... So we're about 10 days in.
Right, but when's it end then? How many days is it?
So it's about... 20
more days. Never mind. Fanboy says it's 20 more days.
It's a month of fasting. So we are not yet at halfway point. We are
right. So
20 more days.
Right, yeah. 20 more days according to Fanboy. Now, here's my question. Here's my question then.
We're a third of the way in. We're a third.
No, I got it. So your fasting is this 12-hour
thing. 1 divided by 3.
Right, I can do math. So you got 12 hours that you fast.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna be a long show. Anyway, you have 12 hours of fasting. So let me ask you this: if you just fasted for 24 hours, does that count as 2 days? Because if it did, you could literally fast 24, eat, fast 24, fast, and then you're done.
I tend not. I mean, you're meant to get up first thing in the morning before before sunrise to.
That's not happening
have
with
your
you.
Breakfast, right? I don't.
Sure.
I sleep through it. It's not necessarily a good thing I do, but I just value my sleep, and so I basically end up eating once every 24 hours, and I don't mean for 10 minutes. It spreads out over 2 hours or so.
So that being the case, wouldn't that count as 2 fasting days?
In a different religion, it might do. In this particular religion, under these particular laws, it counts only as 1 fast.
All right. Well, being Jewish,
it's
we
okay. If I cut a cigar in 2, have I smoked 2 cigars or have I smoked 1 cigar? That's the
Well,
philosophical
that's a
question for today.
philosophical
That's
question.
the
It
thought
is.
for
Yeah.
today. If I cut a cigar in two, if I'm very
Yeah.
stylish and
Yeah.
I really have very classy, and I have achieved the, as I put it, the zenith or the peak or the
Right.
summit or the pinnacle of
God.
my career,
If
I
you had
find that I can cut a cigar. Well, there you go. There's your phone. I can cut a cigar in half and smoke two ends. Is that two cigars or one cigar?
I think in my mind, that would be two cigars because it's two different smokes.
But I only have one
Theoret,
band. It only had
I
one band.
understand that. Well, technically, no. It has a cigar with
Then
a band and a cigar
what's the
without.
difference between that and smoking a cigar, leaving it in your ashtray, coming back and finishing it? Is that two cigars or one cigar?
One cigar, same cigar.
Well, there you go. So it's one cigar because of one band. It's the cigar is the finished product that you were handed. Now, if you cut it in two or three or four, or make yourself into a
Yeah.
complete monkey and cut it into five, yeah, right, yeah, right, okay, or chop it, or slice it,
Right. Sure.
or demolish it and put it in your pipe and smoke it. Yeah, it's still one
Yeah.
product that was delivered to you. If I cut
Right.
if I cut one orange in
There we
half
go.
and eat the two
Oh.
halves, I didn't eat two oranges. I ate one orange.
Yeah. Yeah. So here, let me ask you this question. So I buy a box of cigars. Is that 20
I feel that
cigars
the
or is
show
that
is
one
picking up
cigar?
in tone as we're getting into it.
I see that now. Now everyone woke up. So if I buy a
I
box of
told you
cigars
go
with
in
it,
either direction. I could be
I know.
either.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden
Right.
everyone's awake. So, but if you buy a box of cigars and there's 10 or 20 in your box, or you have a bundle or a wheel, is that one cigar or a wheel of
Well, a
cigars?
friend of mine, his name, I won't mention his name, Zhao. He told me very specifically, and this was on the Partagas Culebras incident, and I call it an incident
Yes,
because it was a
I
big
remember that.
controversy.
Yeah.
So his controversy was that he would smoke all three of these Partagas.
Together.
They're three cigars that are intertwined. They're not connected.
Right.
They're just twined, twisted
Mhm.
together. But they have one big band that goes around them.
Right.
It says Partagas Culebras. His assertion is it's got one band on it, therefore it's one cigar. Well,
Right.
actually, that cigar is a little bit out of that's an unusual one because those three cigars were designed to be smoked separately. If you want to smoke them
Correct.
together, you can, right? But the interesting thing that comes out of that conversation that does not apply to the Culebras, is the exception to the rule, is that a cigar has one band on it, apart from the footer. If it might have footer band, but the band means that's the finished product. There you go, smoke it. You want to cut it in half? If you're really classy and you
Right.
only wear very, very expensive suits, and or you are a budding photographer who thinks he's going to be the top end in the cigar industry and thinks that's the
Right.
way you become classy, do it.
Very good. I think you just light them up, you enjoy them, and that's the moment. And see, what's really funny is because of the Instagram account that you made me do at gunpoint, I now take a picture of everything before I smoke it or I do whatever, blah, 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 for the fans, for whoever, yada, yada. But then after I'm done taking the pictures, phone goes away. I light my cigars and I enjoy the moment. I enjoy the day. From that point on, the phone doesn't come out of my pocket because I don't care. So the cigars to me are the 3 hour mini holiday or this 17-hour mini holiday that I like.
Right.
So it's just, yeah, so it's just a nice whatever. That's why I like when I was able to smoke at the office. You know, if there's stressful, whatever, you light a cigar. Ah,
Oh, you're
like the
living
whole
in
world goes
nostalgia.
away.
That world is gone. Maybe it'll come back. I don't know.
I don't know.
Who's to
I'm
know, right?
thinking,
But that
well,
world is gone.
I know, which is really sad. And that's what I was saying
The what
earlier.
is it? The Mad Men kind of world where everyone's got a
Yeah.
cigarette constantly every 2 seconds or
Well,
cigar
no,
pack.
listen, I just said, and my whole hypothesis on this is who are you to dictate what I do?
Yeah, but that is the world you and I live in. You
I know.
as I say,
Pussies.
everyone and anyone.
Yeah.
We're always dictated to by government, by people in power.
Right.
Now we're dictated to by
By
idiots
pussies. Yeah, by a
who
bunch
live
of
with us.
pussies. Yeah.
Right. When I say live with us, live amongst us is what I
Right.
mean,
Amongst
right?
us. Yeah. Okay. Let's
Live
clarify
amongst
that.
us,
Ooh.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, everyone wants you to do what they want to do. They don't want
Correct.
you to do what you want to do. It's a very, very selfish, self-centric, egocentric based world we live in.
Yeah.
People want you to do what they feel is right, not
Correct.
what you feel is right.
Yeah. which is kind of stupid.
It is whatever it is. That's the world 2020. I have to. I used to be very resistant to change,
Right.
and it's not that I'm no longer that. It's just that I accept the fact that you have to accept the reality of that's the world you live in. So how do you negotiate around it? Well, you have to find different ways of smoking, or find different ways of getting that. I mean, I'm lucky enough I can smoke at home.
Well, yeah. I mean, when I can smoke wherever, and I do constantly, and there's other places where I can't, it is what it is. And I accept the fact. But to me, it's just like, I'm to the point where it's pathetic that we've come to this world of everyone's a pussy. I'm just, it's just, in the cigar world, it's kind of pathetic.
Something I think Aaron Sigmund said to me, you've said it before, like, for example, in Central Park in New York, you can't smoke.
Yeah. Okay. It used to be you could. Now you can't. You go smoke, and 19 police officers will come rushing over and say, you got to put that out.
Right. That's just it. It's a public space, no? Is it a public space?
It's public space. You're in fresh air. You can do whatever you want to do. I'll give you another one. When I was in Austin, there's a path that goes, I think it's called Lady Bird Lake. And so I went down lighting a cigar, and I'm just walking, and these two police officers come riding up to me on a bike. And I was like, how can I help you? And they're like, you can't smoke here. I'm like, there was no sign. They said, it's over there. I said, oh, I came from over there. So they were like, well, I said, I'll put it out. And the guy was like, no one's complained. But if someone complains, you got to put it out. I'm like, fine. And I had cigars with me, so I gave them each a cigar. So I bribed them. But I'm just saying, how pathetic is this? I'm walking outside in a park, and you can't smoke a cigar?
Well, this is just it. So that's reflective of the world today, and it is rapidly getting worse. It might get better. I'm not placing too much hope on it, but I'm open to the possibility it will get better. But until then, find your little terrace space somewhere, or smoke at home, or
I know where it's going to get better. Of course, I've talked to Panda. And G said we can all come to China and smoke wherever we want. So I'm very excited about that. So I think we're going to have to take a trip. Like hang out in the palace, hang out with him. He's a big cigar smoker. No one knows that. Who knew? G, Ja would know that. Try to stay up with the show. I know you're dying here because it's Ramadan. And after this, you're going to go to He's going to be like, bump. And no one will see him for 4 more hours.
I've given the best of my output for this show already. That's as high as it goes.
All right. Well, then if that's the case, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for all watching. David Blanco, who couldn't make it today, we hope you feel better.
Benny Blanco.
And whatever, who cares? He didn't show up. It's his own fault. There's the QR code for the people that are going to ask the famous question. And if you don't know what the question is, hit the QR code. Other than that, thank you. We will be back next Saturday, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on what side of the form you're on, with hopefully a guest. If not, it'll be me and Riza, or me and someone else, or 2 other people. Who the hell knows? We'll see. Anyway, everybody have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Riza, it's always good to see you. And for all of our Muslim friends, enjoy the rest of your Ramadan. I still think you guys need to talk to your Emir and go, listen, 24-hour fasting counts as 2 days. You can speed this thing up. I'm just trying to help you out.
My Jewish friend told me.
Your Jewish friend. But I'm back now. Oh, Abraham Lincoln's back. Well, Abe, sorry to see you go, pal. Go to the theater. Everybody have a wonderful day. We'll see you all later. Cheers, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe and like.